That's not my style. And if I can give AI those not styles legally, but if I can show it some snippets of things that I don't like, that tells it, here's what I like, here's what I do. So obvious, but wait till we get to the next section. This is where it gets really good because you're giving it an idea of where you are, your style. Remember, AI doesn't automatically know what makes your communication special. You need to show it. And you know what? It's hard to feel special about our communication. AI can help us do that. So in segment 2, we're going to talk about the established communicator. And this is the person who has been communicating in your field for a while. And I hate that word communicating, but if you've had a job for a while, that's communicating. Email, marketing, sales is communication. Engineers working on a sprint, that's communication. All of this is how we communicate and is what the biggest weakness of most human beings is organization and communication. Create a simple map of the different contexts you communicate in. Is it emails, presentations, social media, or reports? Select one strong example from each of the main categories, okay? And they have to be strong. Consider which communications have gotten the best response from others. These will probably be the ones with your strongest style elements. And a lot of times that the ones that you love don't necessarily isn't the ones that they love. And remember, it's all up to the person reading and reviewing, not up to you. That's a good thing. Identify the evolution in your style. Some writers especially don't like this. They sort of go through their styles, what they were yesterday, they're not going to be today and definitely not tomorrow. Others like to see the evolution in the style. And if you can show, and you've been around, an early style, get 3 to 5 examples that show a continuity over time, you're going to be able to show something that is experience. AI doesn't have experience. That's what we want to load it up with. Our experience, so it knows our voice, our style, our brand, whatever the voice is, whether that's an HR memo or a pitch to a VC, it's still your voice. And until it's your voice and your style, and it's not just AI showing you what other people have done, you're going to get limited. So select examples from different periods and highlight similarities and differences. Which elements are consistent? And these are the foundation of your natural style. And if they're not, and you're totally one of these people that, like David Bowie, reinvents himself every time, good. If you invent themselves, reinvent. But if you have that, even with Bowie, you could see a selection of music that evolved and that told such a richer story than just showing, let's say, his latest album or the last memo you wrote. Because honestly, to AI, it's all the same. It's tokens and data, and they're just going to evaluate it. But the more that they know you, the better it can get. So make a conscious decision. Do you want AI to reflect your current style, your entire evolution, or do you want it to focus on a specific context, like a project you're working on right now? Do you see what you let it do there? If there's a longer period, you can train. But if I'm focusing on getting just this email out for a meeting in a week, I don't need to go that deep, do I? It becomes a much simpler thing, but still, every communication has a style. The best ones are well communicated and organizing, and that's what they're pushing off to AI, not your job, at least in some circles. Remember the power of contrast. Sometimes defining what you're not is as powerful as defining what you are. Who are your influences? Then articulate how your approach differs from theirs. You could do this with ChatGPT. Here's my style. Here's the style of somebody famous. How does it differ? But if you do this exercise, you're going to learn why you liked that person's style and what part of it sort of reflects into you to bring together your unique, experiential, personal style. I can't state this loud enough. AI is going to make everybody commodified. Gentrification of data. How do you stand out? Create a list of communication approaches you intentionally avoid. For example, I avoid corporate jargon. I don't use overly academic language. Even when discussing complex topics, I keep my language as simple as I can, and I'm always working on it. Creating a voice map. As you can see here, this is a voice map. I've created a visual diagram with your name at the center. And if you're watching, it shows branches for sentence structure. That's the patterns, vocabulary, the words you use, the topics, the 3 to 5 you're interested in, your tone, not just your opinion, but ask AI and different AIs to use their sentimentality and give you an idea of what you're really saying. You might be surprised sometimes. Be open to it. Communication goals is the final part. For each branch, add 3 to 5 special characteristics with real examples that you have, your work. If it's a photograph, if it's writing, whatever it is, show those good examples and show what wasn't good. Maybe it's your early work. And when sharing examples with AI, brief introductions are needed to explain the context. Always explain the context. For example, this is from a client email where I needed to explain a technical concept to a non-technical audience. Include notes about what you're trying to achieve with everything you do. See, what you're doing is giving it a context. And yes, it's a little detailed in the early part, but what you're going to get is a lot richer experience. I've seen my Claude save me amazing amounts of time in the time I've learned how to use it efficiently for me, for what I need to do this podcast. Because what we want AI to understand is not what you said, but why you said it. The purpose, the experience, the angle you have. Don't let yourself just be a replicant. And you know what it all comes down to? The right questions.